Alright guys, so for you beginner bass fishermen, as I said probably 100 times already this video. It's alright, they're only going to get better. These videos, I mean. So basically what I've done is I've picked out a couple lures that are super easy to use and just catch fish. Great lures, amazing. Just to get out there, I'll tell you how to use every one of them. They're very easy, very simple. And like I said, it'll catch you guys some fish for if you're new or you never caught a bass before. If you're going to get into lure fishing, these are the 5 baits that I would recommend for any beginner fisherman. Alright, first up on this beginner fisherman is a chatterbait, a bladed swim jig. This thing here actually wobbles and shakes, you know. All you do is you tie your line to this, that little deal right there. You tie your line to that, you take your rod, you flip it out there, whoosh, give it a cast, and reel it in. Now, with these, I'd like to go in the springtime. I prefer, I mean it is daily, but just enough to get the blade to wobble. That's that slow. It makes the fish easy. It makes it an easier target for the fish. They'll come up and grab it. We'll have a good one. I do recommend the black and blue. Probably one of the better colors in, you know, basically anything. Another good color to have would be a white chatterbait, or a green, you know, chartreuse and white. Those are all great colors to get. You also might want to invest in a couple of, this is a trailer. This is actually a swim bait here, a paddle tail swim bait. And I put them on the back of my things. You can get, they have special trailers for these, but you know, I just put a swim bait on the back of them. I would recommend a trailer as well. Gives it a little extra flash, makes the fish hit it a little bit harder. Alright, moving on, very similar to the chatterbait, we got a spinnerbait here. It looks ugly. I mean, this is a booyah spinnerbait. It's just got a single blade on it. And, God damn it. Sorry about that, the dog was driving me nuts there. So, the spinnerbait, same thing as a chatterbait. You basically cast it out there. I do the same thing with the spinnerbait as I do the chatterbait. Just enough to get that blade to start spinning. You tie your line up right here. Put it through that loop. You tie your line, cinch it down. So you cast this out. Just reel it just enough to get the blade to move. You just do it a couple times, real close to you, so you drag. You just put out enough line that you can see the bait and drag it, just to see how fast you have to go just to get that blade to start spinning. And this is a great bait. Now, with these moving baits like this, if you guys are most likely just starting, so you're going to be fishing on the bank, my greatest tip would be get this thing, you want to parallel the bank. So if the bank's going this way, I want to put that bait, the spinnerbait or chatterbait, right along the bank. And just keep moving down the bank and just keep paralleling the banks. And you're going to catch those fish because they're going to be up on there feeding on their bluegill, just feeding up or getting up on the flats. It's getting warm, so they're going to get moved shallower. So I like to parallel the bank if I'm fishing from the bank. Parallel the bank, catch some fish, or cast it out there, catch them, whatever be the case. Moving on, my personal favorites. It's a crankbait here. I mean, we're gonna do a square bill. They come in, square bills and crankbaits come in very many different sizes. This is a I think this is a Yamamoto crankbait here, square bill. Give it a square. It's called a square bill because of the squareness of the bill. This is good for structure. If you got like a log in the water or something, I'll take this square bill, bam, put it right up, just cast over the log, and then bring this back and say this is the log. This thing will literally hit and move through it, and it won't get snagged. It doesn't hit and stick. It hits and deflects over top of it and goes on. Square bills are, crankbaits in general are a deadly bait. I mean, if you talk to any professional bass fisherman, most of your tournaments are won on crankbaits or jigs? So, crankbait, huge in the arsenal. I mean, when I say they got many different kinds, this is just one of my crankbait boxes. There is just loads of different colors, sizes, types. They range, they could be very expensive to cheap. Like for instance, this is a jawbone crankbait right here. It's a $3 crankbait. Ain't nothing but a thing, right? And then you grab like Livingston the Howler. Well, now we got a $17, $18 crankbait. I mean, I drop back into my live target box. You got $20, $30 crankbaits. I mean, they vary. You don't have to get an expensive one at first. Go out and get yourself a little cheap one. You know, something that's just gonna work. $7. It's a $7 right here. Go out, catch them. Great colors. If it's cloudy or like a murkyish water, I'll go with a white or how about you come unhooked there, you son of a gun. Or I'll go with a chartreuse green. And in clear water, I like to throw these natural colors here, like so. I'll throw a natural color if it's like super clear water. This is what I'll be throwing. Springtime is also a super great color for black and red. That's good for clear and dirty water. So moving off the crankbait there. So we got the spinnerbait, we got a crankbait, we got a chatterbait. Great moving baits. Now there is going to be a time in every fisherman that you have to slow it down. That you're going to have to slow it down. We call this finesse fishing. Alright. When it comes to finesse fishing, I would recommend a jig, but I mean honestly, if you're starting out, you probably have one of these as a rod. You probably have a spinning setup. Alright, well, I really wouldn't do a jig on a spinning setup. It's just not going to end up right. So, you have a spinning setup. This is the finesse baits that I would use, or I like to use. I'll go through the hooks here. And the first will be a ribbon tail worm. This is a power bait ribbon tail worm. Let's call it this is the ribbon tail. There's the worm. So the whole thing's ribbon tail worm. Now you can weightless this, which you guys don't know how to Texas rig. I'll show you this real quick. You come in here, you get a worm hook. It looks like that. Alright? Get away from it and see if you can't focus. So that's the worm hook. Now, to rig this, alright, so this is the head of the worm, right? I'm only going to go to the barb. The barb's that little metal piece that sticks out right here. I'm only going to go to this. I'm going to come through just to the barb. I stop and you pull it out. Okay, so now this is all you have so far. You're going to feed that all the way down past the little bend and up to the eye of the hook or where you tie on. Alright? Now, I go back and to the very back of the hook, the very point in the back of the hook, and I use that as a measurement. That is how far I need to bend my hook in, or I have to pierce my hook through there. So, right there, I put my finger as a marker, I bend it back, and I put the hook right through where I just had that. And that ensures that you are going to have a nice straight worm. Now, you could do it this way. This is a weightless worm. This is great. It sinks pretty slow. This tail does a little bit of movement. You can either let it sink and give it a twitch up, or you could just reel it. This tail will just sit there and waddle through. Or you could Texas rig it. Now, to Texas rig it, you take a small weight, a small bullet weight. Yeah, I do have a Texas rig, I think. Yeah, we got a big Texas rig, but whatever. So, this is a Texas rig. Now, let me pull it off. Oh man, I'm in Struggle City here. This is a Texas rig. You have a bobber stop right here. That's a little black guy right here. That's a bobber stop. You got your weight. You got your hook, obviously, and you got your bait. Okay? So, you can get a bobber stop at Field & Stream, Walmart, anywhere really that you could get a bobber stop. They come in little deals that look like this. This is what they look like. Alright, it's like a little thumb piece. You put your line through the steel. You can see those little loops, steel loops there. Focus. Focus. There we go. You see those little, you put your line through a loop. You pull the lines together. You grab the bobber stop and you slip it on. So you hold the line and the bobber stop and you pull this little black knob till it's on your line. And you just feed it up. Then you put your weight on, whatever size weight. With actually worming, I would probably recommend a smaller weight like so. You put your weight on, you tie your hook on, so then you'd have your bobber stop, weight, and your hook. Alright, just remember that. It goes bobber stop first, then your weight, with the cone, or the opening, the bigger part in the back goes over the hook head. Okay? So you want it like a bullet point. That way it goes through the grass. And then you rig your stuff up. So now that's the other thing. Now that you know how to Texas rig, you can Texas rig a worm. Great deal because like I said, we're in the spring here, at least I am. We're not at the spawn yet, but that is going to be coming. Where you're going to be able to you're going to see fish on beds. Excuse me. You're going to see fish on beds, and you're going to just get, a bed is just basically a spot that a fish is cleared out and you'll see them sitting on it. That's where they spawn. They have eggs, they're protecting them. So, you take this weighted worm, bam, you drop it into his bed there, he's going to eat it. One way or another, he's going to eat that. So, now that you've seen the ribbon tail worm, how to Texas rig, now you can get these are like $4. I think you get like 8 in a pack. This is a VMC hook. You could get Eagle Claw, you know, there's a bunch of different worm hooks out there. You ain't gotta go expensive. Ain't gonna break the bank. You could go, you know, a little weight, you know, you buy a whole pack of them for only like $4, something like that. So, pretty inexpensive. Now, moving on, this is a really, really good bait. It's simple, it's a stick bait, right? It is, or a Senko, as you know, people call them. This one is actually a Yum Dinger, comes in a bag. It looks like that. You can find these baits anywhere. Literally any place you go to, you're going to find a Senko. Alright? Now, you can Texas rig this. You can weightless it, you know, just like the other one. You could weightless, you could Texas it, or you can wacky rig it. Now, a wacky rig, oh, I need my pen. Alright, a wacky rig, you can go out and get this pen right here, a rigging pen, as I call it. It's got a real name. I don't really know what the real name is. But you can go out and get this pen for like $3. It comes with these rings. What I do is you take this, you feed the tail through, drop it in there. Now, you take your little rubber ring and you slip it and roll it all the way up till it's on, and I go about midway in the worm, about halfway. So, you know, pinch it down. Okay, well there's my halfway point, right? Right there. It's halfway. I go down, go down, go down, bam, slip it on. So now you have a worm and a little rubber ring. Then I take a circle hook or octopus hook or split shot hook or whatever you got. This is what I use. I take the little hook and you go with the ring so that now you have your hook is on the ring. Now that ring, all it does, it protects the bait. It makes the bait last longer. It helps the bait last longer. Because if you could do this and just hook it through the body of the worm. I mean, you literally go right through the body of the worm. but you're only going to get like a fish or so off of it. I mean, it's not going to last long. So I go with the little ring, and that's a wacky worm, and that thing will just, you let it sink through, you find grasses, that's great around grass. I actually did super good up in a tournament, up on a Senko in grass with an hour to go, and I came back and I won some money. So it was great. And it was actually on a cold front day, so they'll still eat this on a cold front day. Don't you listen to other people. They are going to eat on cold front days. They just slow down. If you got a cold front coming through, they just slow down, but they will still eat. This is what they're going to eat. Anyway, it goes through the grass, it sinks down, and you just pop, 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 and let it sink. Pop, 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 and all you're doing is giving it a little 1, 2, 3. Let it sink. 1, 2, 3. Let it sink. Let it sink out of view, or however long you feel like it takes. 1, 2, 3. And that is a great way to catch these fish. So, I hope, and please comment if I'm helping you guys or anything. I hope this helps you guys. Comment below, and more videos to come, guys. Thanks for watching. I am Outdoors. Have a good one.